Hello everyone, I am Tara Sin and I am here with Mark Pennington, a G.I. Joe concept designer.
Yes.
For from 1985 to 1988. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
I am good. It's a great day.
Yeah, it is. It's good.
So, what got you into wanting to do cartoons or?
Since I was a little kid, I've loved drawing, and I grew up with the Disney Channel, watching Daniel Boone and all the action adventure stuff, and reading comics and things like that. So that's probably what got me into the fantasy world, I guess, or the world of comics and toys.
So how did you go from going to school to working for or designing G.I. Joe?
Well, I'll start at the beginning. I graduated high school, and then I went in the Army. Right when I was 17 years old, I did 3 years in the Army, and after I got out of the military, I went to art school, and 3 years of art school, and I got married in between there too. And I got lucky, and when I graduated art school, Hasbro happened to be looking for a toy designer. So they came to my school, interviewed a bunch of us, and again, like I said, I got lucky. I was fortunate enough, when I was a kid, I had worked in a plastics factory, so I knew about injection molding, knew where seams are, and things like that. And then I'd also played with Joes, and I was in the military. So that kind of got me the job over, you know, my fellow classmates, because any one of my classmates could have gotten the job there. But like I said, I knew about plastics and injection molding.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in the military, so I knew military weapons, I knew military belts, I knew what they looked like, you know. So that kind of led them on to hire me. So okay, I'm back.
So what was it like working for Hasbro?
It was fun. They made it really nice. They made it very pleasant. Designing toys, how could that not be fun? But they made it really nice. They were pretty relaxed on us. I mean, when we had work to do, we had to get it done and stuff like that. But they encouraged us to get up and look around and see what other people were doing. They encouraged us to see movies. They paid for all the movies we saw. It was an excellent place to work. They had a chef, they had a beautiful kitchen in there. They really took care of us. They were really nice. I have no complaints. For my first job right out of art school, I was spoiled.
So I overheard you say you worked for DC and Marvel?
Yes, and I worked for just about every comic company. Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, Amic, First Comics. I worked for Todd McFarlane for a little while. Image Comics.
What was it like working? I mean, you may not have gotten to meet him, but working, you know, for Stan Lee's company, Marvel.
Well, I mean, I grew up a DC guy, so for me it was more important to get into DC, but most of my friends were Marvel guys, and for them it was more important to get into Marvel. So for me, I just want to be an artist. I don't really care who I work for, Marvel, DC, Joe Blow down the street. I don't care. I just want to be an artist. So for me, it was fun. It was fun working on all these characters, and again, no complaints. I have been very fortunate with the work that I've gotten to do. I worked in bad jobs as a child. You're not a child, but 16 to 20-year-old man doing construction, working in factories, you know, doing horrible jobs, and so. Get lucky, as I call it, and to get to be an artist for most of my life, for the last 35 years, it's fantastic. You know, I got no complaints.
So, which G.I. Joe action figure were you the, what's the phrase? Which one was your main design of the ones from the 80s?
My favorite? I mean, I designed probably hundreds of Joes. We did 17 new ones every year, so I was there almost 3 years. And then drivers and extras and things like that. So I designed a lot of Joes. As far as favorites, I got a bunch of favorites. I mean, you know, You got a couple that you don't like, but it's like having a kid. You know, you don't really pick which kid is your favorite kid. You know, there's a bunch of them you like for this reason or you like for that reason. You know, I can't. I don't really know if I have a favorite. I have a bunch of favorites, so I'm not really sure how to answer that question.
Well, my roommate is a huge fan of Snake Eyes.
Yes. I designed one of the Snake Eyes. There's been several Snake Eyes. I designed one of them.
Which one?
Not the original.
Not the original?
I designed the one with the silver blades across his chest.
Okay.
And he had a three-pointed staff, or not the three-pointed staff, but the three-tier staff.
Okay. Now, to aspiring artists, what would you tell them on how they can get out there and get into the industry?
Oh, you know, it's totally different now. I'm not sure how to get in the industry. I would suggest going to art school because that's probably where companies look for new artists and things like that. But again, I don't know if that's necessary. I would say work as hard as you can on your portfolio. Then I'm assuming you have to send your portfolio to, if you want gaming companies or if you want a comics job, I would assume you have to send your portfolio to them. I know Hasbro lists jobs all the time. They have a job board. They list jobs all the time, and they look for designers all the time. So that's a good way, to get on these job boards. And your main thing is your portfolio. Education is second. Education counts. To have a bachelor's degree in art or something like that, but it's really not necessary unless you want to teach. But a lot of companies, most of them just want to see what kind of artist that you are, especially if you want to do comic art. They require no degree whatsoever. They just want to make sure that you are the coolest and most popular artist out there, and that your stuff is smoking. That's all they care about. They want the coolest and the best guys to work for them, and that's what it is.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Welcome. Nice meeting you.